Today's segment is on parking. Uh, so there was a girl that was parking. There's a handicap spot, and there's a spot next to it with lines through it, meaning no one should park there. And there's a sign in front of that directly saying you're going to be towed. And there was an orange Mustang that was parking there. I know this girl from the gym, in that I see her car at the gym as well. And I provided communication to the landlord, and I also put a note on her car explaining this isn't her parking spot. And there's a person that uses that handicap spot that's in a wheelchair, and she can't get in it when you're parked like inches from her. She can't get in her car. Be that her, an assistant, they can't load her in the car either. And she does have an assistant that comes to the building as well. Well, that person's not parking there anymore, but I noticed that someone else is. And at first I thought it was the assistant. It's a silver Camry Toyota, and I saw them last night. It's two girls from India, um, who expressed nothing but facile thanks and thank you, which felt very much like a patronizing brush off, which, I'm kind of like, probably good thing I'm subdued by the heat. It still didn't resolve itself in my sleep. And so when I did my laundry and took Minnow out to play some frisbee, I checked their car had been moved. Had it not, I would have put a note on it saying, next time I see your car here, I'm calling to have it towed. So I have provided communique to Avesta, being that it's nearly July 4th and the weekend. They're not going to get that communique right away, but my communique was this. It was, there's another thing developing in the covered parking spot, covered parking area. Gave them the coordinates of a license plate, vehicle, and a description of the two girls. And like I said, if I saw their car, I put a note on it saying, I'm going to tow you. I'm going to call and have you towed. I did see them last night, and I said to them, it's not a parking spot. The tenant in the wheelchair can't get in her spot. She said, oh, she moved. So then I was like, at first I thought the car was the assistant to the tenant in the wheelchair, and then I absolutely knew, you're not the assistant. And I explained to them, they said, well, we couldn't find parking tonight. Hee hee. I'm like, I don't know how many times I've heard that, but I'll tell you what, you gotta fucking start giving me money if you're gonna say that. Because I'm tired of it. I said, there's a parking lot diagonally across the street. All you have to do is put a coin in. And they're like, oh no. And I'm like, oh yes. You're not going to patronize on me with your politeness, -T. You've not brought the time. Let me step back a bit. How this sort of adroit territorial balance of paying attention of who goes there in the parking lot came to pass in my apartment building. There was a girl, Michelle, who lived on my floor. She wanted a parking spot. She had graduated from Mecca, the art school, a couple blocks away. Having talked with her about art, where I'm self-taught and she isn't, because she would let everyone know she's a professional and she has a degree. And she will also let other people know that they would never be they would never be a successful artist because they didn't have a degree. It was one of her overlording things. I have a degree, I'm a professional, and you aren't. And she would lord this conversation over people, and tactically, it would seem, pick one person after another one to harass. And she wanted a parking spot too. For me, having a conversation with her about art, where she thought Van Gogh was from Spain, among other things, what she learned from art school, I can definitely vouch for. She learned partying and drugs, that much she knows, which informed me her dad probably put her in art school and paid for it because he didn't know where else to place her. For starters, she has a vehicle which her dad bought her, and her conversation goes like this. I like this guy at work, but I'm not going to date him because he doesn't have a car. And I'm like, we really, I didn't say this, but we can all see, you really didn't earn your CR. And you're overlording everyone in the parking spot who has a parking place here by first come, first order. Was one of the first tenants in the building. That you're trying to get their parking spot, and you're trying to get under their skin, and you're basically a muckraker. You stir the pot, you create traction by lying. Okay. A lot of people moved because of her. The landlord basically vouched that if they did anything, it would be discrimination, but that's really not the case. Had there been anyone present in this organization, I wouldn't have to do the work for them. So basically, I took Michelle to court for a harassment order, and then Avesta took me to court for a made-up lease violation of having art in the art room. You can see the beginning and the remnant of that at www.hollysprague, HOLLIESPSPRAGUE.com. So it's her name. It's the name of a person at Avesta who okayed the made-up lease violation for me to go to court and waste my fucking time, where I vouched for myself and my art and my religion as Eve Even, that Holly Sprague is a meta for how a state of being, Hall lies Prague, is made. How a state of being. Anyway, after representing myself in court, because the local Pine Tree Legal, which offers free legal counseling, won't do it for me because my website, hollysprague.com, they said was too personal. So I found out on the day of court that I would be representing myself alone. So I did. And we kept it on the fence with the evicting attorney in town, David Chamberlain, who also is Avesta's attorney. So he's the whole evictions lawyer for Portland and personally handles Avesta's evictions as well. So kept it on the fence and had to reply in paper. And basically how the chips fell is after there was a lot of things that were not okay. In court the first time, David Chamberlain was supposed to have a conversation with me, and he sent me away for hours while court is in process until court was done. So this conversation never took place where we're supposed to mediate. He sent me away. That's where someone said, look, David Chamberlain's a dick. You need to go talk to Pine Tree Legal and do it before the closing of court today. so we could get your case on the docket. And so that's what I did. Only for the next time to go back and find out on that court day, that day in court, right before we go to court, that I don't have representation. So anyway, I get to stay where I am, and my website, hollysprague.com, gets to stay up as well. So there's a back history. Michelle bitched all the time. She complained. I thought, at the time I go away to camp, I work at a B&B. Sometimes I'm gone for a day or 2 or 3, a week, overnight. I'm doing woodworking out of town. I'm happy to share my spot with you. But that didn't work out. Michelle accorded my spot as her spot, not I will let you know when I'm not going to be there so you can use it. She seemed to have selective hearing, and that's not going to work. So the first time she was in my spot without me letting her know, I called her and said, get your car, move it. We're not doing this ever again. I'm not here to repeat myself umpteen times for no reason. She missed the memo. What's my urgency? I fucking had to pee when I pulled into my parking spot. And I had an anticipation I was going to have a spot, and I didn't. So let's back it up or forward, whatever, to the people that are parking in this lined area where no one's supposed to be parking. There's a list of people that supposedly are next to have a parking spot in the covered area. So people just up and saying, hey, I'm going to park here is not really kosher or diplomatic. The other thing for those people that are politely waiting, I can say by the dynamic of first come, first serve, to have a parking spot, sure, that's an incentive to put some money down and like, I'm going to do this, okay? Please understand, I'm advocating to not change what was first spoken. Why? Because I've been waiting quite a while to have a place to park, period. So young people, that you have a car that you didn't provide yourself, please understand the value of parking. You may have to wait in line. The person in front of you waited in line too. What is the value of me mismarking on someone? I'm letting the landlord know there's a thing going on here. You may not be aware of it, even though I know you've got cameras everywhere externally where I live. So you can reference yourself on my word. Go back and look at your cameras. You could see who's parking there if you want to, and see if they deserve it. For me, with the girls from India, honestly, had not the heat kind of wore me down a little bit, I might be inclined to kind of slap their silly faces. But I slept on it last night after I posted a note to the management of the building to inform them that I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give you one heads up. And had your vehicle still been there when I got up this morning, you'd find a note on it. And it would say, next time I see your car here, I'm calling the towing company. I'm doing it. So I don't know if that is what all the gratuitous thanking for yesterday, but it's really kind of like falling. It was like falling on deaf ears because I'm like, are you from India? And if you are, you're from a higher caste system, aren't you? And you're really not bringing a value of time to anyone. Okay, with all your politeness making that you really can't tell a difference. So I've waited my turn to have a parking spot. I recognize an opportunity, and I'm I'm present. I'm present for it. I am thinking, if you don't like my miss marking on you, and you think you're thinking of two, and you think you earned your value of CR, having a car and caring, you're welcome to Miss Mark back on me, is what it comes down to. So oddly, I'm not trying to pursue discrimination. The girl in the orange Mustang, you know, why shouldn't she have a free for all if the girls from India are going to have a free for all? And why is this my problem or not my problem? Well, I feel at the very least, it is my right to fucking read. It's my right to read. And pointing out that sign in front of the person's car, can you read too? That's my right. Now, if that sign wasn't there, that would be different. But I'm advocating my right to read that sign. It says to call Cardiff Towing. I think that's who it was. Tardif. It's got a number. You know what? I'm just going to let them know. For all your thank yous, this is what I want you to know. I'm going to be the person calling the towing company. So thank me all that you want to. Why? You know what? I believe in the girl in the orange Mustang. I believe in the girl in the orange Mustang as much as the girls from India if they want to. There's a guy in the apartment who got a black Volkswagen Beetle. He's from the South. He's very polite young man. And you know what? I'm like this. If you can hear me, I am willing to share my parking space, okay, with any of you. But if you're going to make me jump through your malfeasant hoops that are polite for no reason, thiefing, or brazenly not giving a shit, I'm not going to. You know, I'm still willing to try to accommodate, but please understand, I know the value of my estate of parking, okay? And I'm advocating from that position and authority, even. It would seem to me the design of the parking lot is X amount of cars should be in there so that you could back out and get out the gate. It's a pretty small space. Let's see. Other things. Is this working today? It almost looks like there's not much time lag, which is nice. Is it working today? That's so weird. My internet's working today. It's fast. What happened? Oh my gosh. Toddler dies in hot car while family attends reunion. Woo. I'm not trying to be the ways and means in the parking lot where I live, but it seems like someone needs to be. Why? It's very obvious someone is not being, okay? So I know you have a law. I'm advocating, what I'm doing may look very non-ambitious. I'm not going to Venice nude as a model, Bella Hadid. I'm not Emily Ratajkowski, whatever, who shoots pictures of my ass, my cherry ass for Instagram and tools a look. What I'm doing may look very unambitious, but I'm working from the bottom up. I'm working from my footwork. And I think if you think about it, it is more ambitious than just flipping out your breast or your clit for the world to see on a stage of nobody. So there's more sides. I was thinking about Bella Hadid. Maybe she's just like, you know, I'm nude. You know, I will say, for a person who lifts weights, I think she's got a great body. I was looking at, I've been on other people's Twitter and Facebook pages. You know, there's one of a singer with her back, and I'm like, it's so missing muscle structure. I don't think that's sexy. It's like, she's her back, and it's like, I woke up, so back picture and sheets, and I'm like, I don't think that's sexy, honestly. To me, it's not. Where's your muscle structure? Or some people will be like, you know, going to the gym makes you look like so isolated muscle structure. I get that too. I even comment about that sometimes too. Like, that person, all their body parts are like Mr. Potato Head. Put an arm on, put a leg on. I get they're technically perfect, but they don't look like they go together in a movement. Parking, sparking. So, please understand, here we are. Michelle goes to art school, her daddy pays for it, gives her the license to upchuck on people. You'll never be a success because you don't have a degree. That she never really earned by going to school. All she learned about was partying and drugs. And it was not her money as a value that put her there. She's got a car her daddy bought her, and she will not go out with other people that do not have a car. And she uses that car to prey on people in the covered parking area to have their spot. You're just like a chip out of college, man. And all this provides a conversation with other people. You know? And I went to school, I'm a professional. Professional bullshitter, you know? I know for sure you didn't learn any art history in college at Mecca. Then you have the likes of Annie Wadley that works there, who, when I do a video, because I'm on weed, toking, I do have a video where I'm on weed. I never partook of pot until I moved to Maine, and I thought it was the main pastime. I mean, there's a lot of people that grow it. There's a lot of people that smoke it way, way, way before it's a possible legal activity. So I partake of it, and Annie Wadley marks on me as if this is my lifetime. I'm saying, I don't make the D-rug, Annie Wadley, who you shake your fucking finger stick at your students of, you know, if you're going to be a partier, you're not serious. You're not really even providing follow through. So it's a mute conversation. and a mute argument at best. B-E-S-T. I'm voting for my time. There was one thing, and I didn't bring the notes. So I was supposed to have a date yesterday, and I didn't go on it. I was babysitting the internet that had no connection. Okay, it had connection, but it was faulty. And among other things. And it made me feel like not getting a whole lot done yesterday. Definitely not something I want to go out and celebrate, even casually. How's your day? You know? Among other things. I got you're welcome to call me on it. I got the sensation, the feeling that this person, Chris, that I canceled my date with, who wanted to meet at the Superette on East End. And I'm like, where's the Superette? I'm not aware of the Superette. How about the Blue Spoon? I know where the Blue Spoon is on East End. He's like, no, East End Prom, in a text. And I'm like, there's no shop on East End Prom that I know of. So still don't know, I don't know where the Superette is, but I got the sensation that he thought that I had a romantic, deviant romantic interest, like he was the real thing, and if I was thinking of someone else, then that I was thinking of someone else, and thinking of someone else was destructive romantic passions. It can't be romantic passions when you don't bring the time. You know? Sorry. I don't know how to go for reward with someone when they don't bring the time. So I can't really justify an exercise in meeting when you don't understand the need for follow through. You know? This building is getting hot. I might need to turn some air conditioning on. We are expected at 84, possibly 86 high. Maine is humid, so when you've got temperatures in the 80s, you can expect to have a tropical zone in your t-shirt. And Mondays looks to still be in the 80s. Tuesday 76, Wednesday 79, all sunny. So I'm gonna try and get my videos up and work on my notes. Slow progress, I have to say. It's kind of I want to, it's, how do I say? I want to escape. It's slow, but if I can talk myself into understanding it's slow and still to plod along, then maybe I'll, you know, I have to consign myself to plodding right now and try and make some movement. Yesterday was such a distraction with about 3 times a minute. I could watch my network diagnostics. I could see internet and server failing. So, as I'm trying to upload a video, how many times? 8? I finally get to upload it today. So, I'm going to stop this video